Hey, chiropractors, what happens to your practice if you die? And that might sound kind of morbid, or it might kind of sound blunt or to the point, but the reality is we only have a finite amount of time left on this earth, and you have to make sure that all the skill and all the wisdom, all the knowledge that you've poured into your practice, everything from chiropractic school to all the years you've been in practice, that you have to make sure that you have systems in place to make sure that your business is going to be fine and or you can take care of your family, or ultimately there is an exit strategy. So today we're going to talk about a few different things on what you can do to make sure that your whole business, if something happens to you, doesn't just burn to the ground in case you do happen to pass away unexpectedly. And so the big thing and the reason that brought this to my attention was Andy Stanley. He's a pastor down in Atlanta, Georgia, had a powerful sermon he delivered in a mega church one day. And what happened is he knew it was a good sermon, and there was this big business juggernaut who walked up to him, and Andy thought he was about to get a really good compliment. And he said, "Hey, if you were a business, I wouldn't invest in you." And Andy was instantly taken back. And because the business juggernaut said to Andy, he said, "Because you're so good at what you do." And as a chiropractor, you have to look at that from that standpoint. Maybe you've built a personality practice, or you don't have the systems in place, or an exit strategy, or anything set up to make sure that you are duplicatable. And in chiropractic, we are very much personality practices versus system-driven practices. Now, you obviously have to have a great personality. You have to be likable and be able to get clinical results, but do you have things in line where you have more of a staff-driven practice? And so what happens is a staff-driven practice looks something like this. A staff-driven practice, actually, the majority of the skills and the decisions are taken over by the staff, where the doctor is the person who serves the patient. But what happens is you have to have a system that duplicates the doctor. What happens is if you get an associate doc, you have to have something that is both profitable, that patients still accept recommendations and still get great care. But too often as chiropractic, what'll happen is it's a solo doc doing everything. You're the bottleneck in every decision. And what happens is you never get to take time away for your family time or take a vacation or do anything because you are the bottleneck, because you have more of a personality practice more than a staff-driven practice. And so what happens is if something happens to you, one of my friends, a good mentor, said the life of your practice is almost like a jug of milk. And so if you have everything based on you and your systems aren't duplicatable, you don't have everything where someone can just step in and take over, your practice will be gone in a short period of time. And so you have to have both proven processes, duplicatable principles, something that is not just all about the one doc. And so what happens is we're able to figure out how to make a system specifically for chiropractors that won't just let your practice go away in less than 5 days if something happens to you. And so if you're looking for ways to have a profitable practice, but a staff-driven practice, and there's systems on ways how to duplicate yourself so not everything becomes dependent on you, go ahead and click the link below for a quick little analysis to see how we can serve you. Take care.